Blog Talk Radio.
This is Pedii Talks Music, the best radio show in the DMV. This is Pedii Talks Music, the best radio show in the DMV. Hi, this is Pedii, and this is Pedii Talks Music. I have with me today Deadly Force.
Hey, what's up, what's up? How are you guys out there? How's everything?
I hope everything is well with everybody out there. So let's get to this interview. So, are you part of a label?
No, currently I'm unsigned. Hoping to latch on eventually, but currently I'm unsigned.
Okay, awesome. So, how long have you been rapping?
It's been a while. I mean, owning my craft, I would say well over about 14 years or so that I've been serious about it. But I played around when I was younger, probably about the age of 7 or so. So as I got older, I just took it even more serious.
Okay, cool. So what kind of rapper do you consider yourself to be?
I'm more of a storyteller. I often get compared to the Notorious B.I.G. There's a lot of similarities in my music. People say, as well as in his. That is my idol. So naturally, that's where the similarities come in. But I'm more of a storyteller. I can kind of cross over and do pretty much anything. But I prefer to keep it in the story and try to give the listeners something they can actually visualize as they're listening to the lyrics or the words. So.
Okay, cool. So what actually inspired you to become an artist?
Growing up, my parents listened to a lot of the Motown era, and then there was a lot of like Sam Cooke being played and things like that. And my stepfather, he's a DJ, so he just played a lot of different genres of music growing up, and I just fell in love with music as a whole. And as time moved on, I just fell in love with it. And I remember growing up and then just seeing like the different artists Diddy would put out, and I always aspired to kind of do the same thing and build my own brand and try to mold artists and do things like that. So it just came with the territory, I guess you could say.
Okay. So what do you do when you're not performing?
I like giving back. I'm currently an educator, so that's kind of the funny aspect. I like to make sure that we kind of keep young boys on the straight and narrow. There's a lot of things out there that can tempt them to do the wrong thing. So I try to give back to my community as much as possible. And I know a lot of people probably like a young rapper already talking about giving back, but I really think that's vital in today's youth. So I really try to do as much as I can. I coach youth basketball and just do things like that to try to make sure young guys have an avenue and an outlet to go to. That's not just the streets. And just like to hang out and chill with my children. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. That's so awesome. Like, definitely. So when is your next tape coming out?
Well, currently I'm working on a project of one of my artists that I'm working with. Her name's Mona Moore, so we're trying to work on that. And then I had this concept project that I'm working on where it's kind of like a soundtrack to a movie that hasn't been shot yet. It's a movie that I wrote a while ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. So each song on the track actually tells a story in the movie that I'm creating, and it's real dope. So I'm hoping to release an actually second album. I got like tracks just sitting waiting or another mixtape within another 4 or 5 months from now. And it's just grinding. I get so many thoughts and and things like that. And it's like I'll start on one project, and it's like, oh, I got this idea to do this, and then I got this idea to do that. And before you know it, I done recorded 45, 50 songs. And I'm like, okay, what we gonna do with all this music? So.
Interesting. Wow. So, what is the name of the movie?
Right now I'm just trying to figure out if I'm gonna go with the whole double standard. I think I want to call it Double Standard, but I haven't really decided. And the story is just pretty much about a young kid who grows up in the inner city, who kind of sees things from a different light, and he's viewed differently. He's like thought to be a type of kid that he never really was. And he grew up in a household where it was his dad kind of raising him and his sister, because one of his brother was murdered, and then his other brother went on to the military. So it kind of like kind of a thing where the family kind of was broken up because the mom actually went for revenge on her son's killer, and he was pretty much raised in a house with just his dad, but dad really didn't have time because he had to make ends meet. So kind of like the part I play in the story is me rapping his whole lifestyle from what he go through and things like that throughout the whole course of the movie. But it's real dope.
That's really cool. Like, seriously cool. So, where can you download or purchase your mixtape?
Well, I'm one of the rare artists that loves to just give away free music. So if you hop on my SoundCloud, I got endless tracks on there. If a track isn't available for download, just let me know. It's SoundCloud.com/DeadlyForce. You can also, I got endless mixtapes on that Piff. I got a mixtape called Jordan and Pippen of the Rap Game featuring me and my man Azo. My first mixtape called The Grand Interest is on there. My first actual album, which was on iTunes, that I later took down because I felt like I just needed to focus more on just letting people get free music. That is actually on, I'm in on that Piff as well, and that's called Forceful Entry Volume 1. And then I got a single right now on iTunes. That's the only thing that you pay for. It's called Here to Stay. I Think I Love You, and it's featuring my female artist, Mona Amore. And, I mean, that's pretty much it. And then I'm working on, like I say, I got the Double Standard. I think we're going to kind of stick with that name. And then I have the Forceful Entry Volume 2 that I'm like 12 or 13 songs deep. And I just love music and love trying to give back and give good music. So any tracks, any features, anybody need me on, just hit me up, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and we can make it happen.
Okay. Awesome. So where did you get your name?
The name Deadly Force. It's crazy because I kind of like bounce from name to name trying to find different names. And it just was a name that kind of stuck out. When you hear Deadly Force, it's like something that occurs instant and it's dangerous and it's like unexpected. But when it happens, you know it happened. And it's a sudden impact. So that's what I kind of wanted to be. When you hear my voice, when you hear something I put out, like suddenly it impacts you and it changes who you are, what you were thinking at that time. So that's where the whole Deadly Force came from.
Interesting. Okay. So what makes you different from the rest?
I think me being different from the rest because I'm not just a MC. A lot of people may not know I write R&B, country. I dig into some rock and roll. I just love music as a whole. So you may hear something that I wrote and wouldn't even think I wrote it because you probably think, nah, there's no way this dude can kind of flip and do that. And that's one of the things. And then just I'm not one of those that's trying to fit into a certain persona and try to make it seem like I lived this way, and I didn't. I was blessed to just be in a household with a mom and a stepdad, and also have my biological dad and my stepmom in my life. So I don't have to sell that story about mom's not being there and things like that, or dad not really being there, stuff like that. I don't have to try to make up stories to be successful. Like, I know what I can do and I know what I'm capable of. So I just let the music speak for itself.
Okay. Interesting. So how old are you?
You want the Hollywood age or you want the real age?
Really?
I'll give the real age. I'm not ashamed. I'll be 32 in September, but I look.
Oh, wait. When is September?
The 29th, Libra, all the way.
Dude, I'm the 18th.
Wow. Yeah. Yep.
September.
That's an awesome month. September's an awesome month.
It is, definitely. So, where are you from?
I'm from D.C., Southeast, born and raised. Lived in Prince George's County around my 10th grade year. And then I lived in Baltimore a little bit for college, and alumni of Morgan State University. So.
Okay.
Yep. So.
What did you make?
Definitely. Communications, radio production. So shout out to all my former MSU student radio classmates and just MSU family as a whole.
Okay. So what's your favorite song from any of your mixtapes?
Wow, you hit me with my favorite song. I do so many songs. If I have to say, one of my favorite songs would probably be, it's a song called Ungrateful that I wrote that I think is definitely one of my favorites. And that's just, Ungrateful was pretty much about a situation that I was in that I felt like I'd done, or, you get in a relationship and you feel like you do everything you can for that person, and no matter what you do in that relationship, be it male or female, it's just never enough. So it's like, why you got to be so ungrateful? Like, whatever I do for you, it's never good enough. If I don't do it, you complain. If I do it, you complain. Why you can't just live with the fact that I'm attempting to beat it? So that's one of my favorite ones, is Ungrateful.
Okay. Awesome. So when you're getting ready to write a song, what's your ritual?
It's funny because I'm one of those where I used to just be able to write and then put it to any beat, and I still can do that. But now I could just be driving and something to come in my head, and I'll put my iPhone on record and just start either singing a hook or rapping a verse or doing whatever. And then when I get home, I'll listen to what I wrote or listen to what I said and then jot it down or take something out and things like that. So it's always mostly spontaneous. Or I may get a beat from somebody and they send it to me and like, I need you to write to this. And then when I start, I'll just sit down and just start thinking of, okay, what am I hearing? And then based on what the melody of the track is telling me, that's when I just kind of go in. So that's kind of how I get in tune with the music per se. And then I try to always, in my mind, try to think of, okay, if I was submitting this to an artist, who would this song sound good for? And that kind of puts me in the mood I need to be in to write it for whoever I feel I want to give it to once I get in the industry or whatever the case may be.
Okay, cool. So do you play any instruments?
No, I don't play any instruments outside of like saxophone and like 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. Outside, and I did like violin in like 3rd grade or something like that. Outside of that, there's been no instruments over the last 20 years of my life.
Okay. Well, do you get nervous when you're getting ready to perform?
I'm always nervous when I'm getting ready to perform. It's like even still, I'm like the shyest person, and it's like people will be like, "All right, come on, do something. Let's do this," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm not ready." Nah, can you spit for? Nah, I'm not ready. And then it's like I'll get in the mode where I'm just no longer me, and it makes it easier. But I'm always nervous, and like I think it's more so afraid that I'm gonna let the people I'm doing it for down. Because I know that I'm not just doing it for me. There's a lot of people riding on my shoulders when I do perform. So uh, that's the biggest issue for me.
Okay. Interesting. So, goodness gracious, what are your immediate music career goals from next 1 to 3 years?
The next 1 to 3 years is hopefully just being able to start up my own production company, EBS Entertainment, which stands for Everybody Shine Entertainment. And I'm a firm believer. I'm not one of those. I'm not going to be one of those companies where I'm focused on myself more than my other artists. I just want to see everybody in my camp just eating and just prosperous. So I'm just that type of individual. So that's my focus. It's just to get heard, get the artists around me heard, because we got a lot of good music, and we feel like it's only a matter of time. Not looking to necessarily sign to a major, because I'm pretty certain that I can do it independently, and if the music's good, labels will come running. But really just to get the message out there and just to be seen and heard by as many people as possible is pretty much my goal for the next 1 to 3 years. And hopefully, me and you'll chat again in the future, and you'll be able to say you broke me as an artist. So,
yay! I would love to be able to say that. Definitely.
yeah.
So, how would you define the word success?
Success to me, defining it is just to be comfortable. I'm not one of them artists that needs to be in a $5 million house with 20 cars. Success is just always providing quality music. And one of my biggest sayings is success is my only failure. I believe when people reach a certain level of success, they just stop trying to do what got them there. So that's my only downfall. I want to always be hungry and be grinding to do better than what I've done before, and never just stop and say, okay, I made it, because I've never made it. There's always something and more to strive for.
Okay. Ooh, so what are your long-term career goals?
Long-term career goals, definitely win a Grammy. Just to say I've done it, and that I'm capable of doing it. Also, to just connect with some of my favorite musicians and songwriters and things like that, and to hopefully open up a school of music, and just give back to my community. That's my long-term goal, see that my children are well taken care of. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, cool. So let's get to these songs. So the first song is called Here to Stay, I Think I Love You. So what inspired this song?
That song was actually inspired by my wife, actually, and yeah, I'm married. So it was kind of writing that was like when we first started talking, like people got so much to say. You know, when you get into a relationship in the earlier stages, people like, oh, it ain't gonna work, blah blah blah. You whip, she got you whipped. So it was like I ain't caring what they think. I think I love you. I'm here to stay. It don't matter what my friends may think or what whomever may think about you and I. It's you and I. So that was the biggest thing behind that, and the motivation behind that. It wasn't our story per se, but she was the inspiration behind that.
Oh, that is so sweet. I love it. All right, well, here is Here to Stay. I Think I Love You by Deadly Forest. All right, that was Here to Stay by Deadly Forest. The next song is called Finally Made It. So tell me what inspired this song.
That song was just inspired about a dream I had where I was actually living a life I wanted to live. So it was, of course, a fictional story because it hadn't happened yet, but it just talks about like what life would be like if I actually made it where I'm trying to get. So.
Okay, awesome. So here is Finally Made It by Deadly Forest.
pain. Red carpet, no champagne. How does it feel? You damn lame. Guess you wouldn't know. Y'all ain't seen success in the wild. Call y'all D'Angelo. Mini Papa Dro. Never been me. Mouse in the house. Never been me. Clear knee. Women got their legs open like Clarence. I keep stroking. Y'all do keep fucking. Always on the juice of Ethiopian. Keep down Ethiopian. Ask when niggas act good music like Kanye with no made back, but I fuck with the rose. The dudes gon' talk about gunplay like a car going backwards after one way. You competing with me, that's funny. I'm chilling with you, captain my playboy money. Don't know why, but I'm feeling good. They say I finally made it. Yeah, I think I finally made it. Don't know why, but I'm feeling good. They say I finally made it. Yeah, I think I finally made it. Now my team pop modules, slip and slide in modules. No trick daddy, say it wasn't me. No shaggy, niggas want that me. Same me prior to. Kick shit, minus the kung fu. What you want to do? Live and direct. Aiming for the top. Or bitches that get around me too pop. Fam used to keep things when they too stop. And with the flavor pop. Now watch the moves that we make. Great stakes, just to up the stakes. Reside in different states. As Mr. States, she dying to do me. The bitch niggas mad cause you can't move me. Let me do me. My path real clear. You're better than I doubt that my dear. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know why, but I'm feeling good. They say I finally made it. Yeah, I think I finally made it. Don't know why, but I'm feeling good. They say I finally made it. Yeah, I think I finally made it. Finally made it. Exclusive like Nathan. Eat extraordinaire. You ain't on, we don't care. I'm here, ain't going nowhere. Place there, never be. Ain't counting dirty money, but I hear the angels calling me. Reply, hello, good morning. Shrimps and lobsters, living life like lobsters. Winning the war, no Oscars. Trying to cop a few movements. Bill had a win. Big Hand Kim. I'm just trying to fuck a few twins. One to him like Kardashian. Some ask for him. I just got cash in. Mama ain't raised no cool. Keep fast. The bottom so cool. Ain't Tim Island, but my men's pack too. Wearing the rules mansions. We eat the pools, limos, with your cool. I made it. Don't know why, but I'm feeling good. They say I finally made it. Yeah, I think I finally made it. Don't know why, but I'm feeling good. They say I finally made it. Yeah, I think I finally made it.
All right, that was Finally Made It by Deadly Force. So the next song is called Chocolate Girl. Tell me what inspired that.
I actually made that song a long time ago. I want to say it was like '02. And I had just got tired of seeing like certain women depicted in music videos, you know, the lighter skinned or a certain tone of women. So I was like, okay, or not even just different tones of women, but rarely do you see like just a regular average sister in the video. So it kind of was like my ode to just chocolate or a certain type of women. But as the song, I dig into the song, it was just pretty much women in general and just comparing them to like different types of foods and stuff like that. So it was kind of fun and interesting. The beat was kind of crazy. So I was like, let me play around with it. And you got Chocolate Girl.
Okay, well, here is Chocolate Girl by Deadly Force.
change. In hopes of getting something started. Caramel eyes, Marie and chocolate. I'm on topic, that's what you do with me. You give me everything I need. I'm on that, just give this a chance. You know I'm trying to be your peanut butter man. A week in Japan, just to get the big play sexual feeling, get it on like Robert King. Some say they allergic to the style you got, tastes good when you're cold, but better when you're hot. My family say like bananas we split, but they don't know shit. They all got this. Let me show you every aspect of the world. I love you because you're my chocolate girl. I'll never ever be with you. You're all I need in my world. Everything can be a chocolate girl. I'll never ever be with you. You're what I need in my world. Everything can be a chocolate girl. My niggas try to say, use the lame hole. Say you fuck my nigga nut and his twin mango. They just so sure on my team and how I compare to my ice cream. I can't help it if you make a nigga beam or blink. I'm infatuated with nice things. So I don't have some prefer apple or maybe not me, I got a thing for a chocolate. You always been my hot chicken home. I deposit all my time with you. I like wild and berries too. My niggas like how the fuck can I compare you to my few? Cause your boy's kinda large and it's only you. Eat all sort of things, but I got a sweet tooth with you. Know what I mean? You're a gem, ruby, or a pearl. Fuck nah, you're my chocolate girl. I'll never ever be with you. You're all I need in my world. Everything is a chocolate girl. I'll never ever be with you. You're what I need in my world. Everything is a chocolate girl. I'll never ever be with you. You're all I need in my world. Everything is a chocolate girl. I'll never ever be with you. You're what I need in my world. Everything is a chocolate girl.
All right, that was Chocolate Girl by Deadly Force. So I want to thank you for coming on my show tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to just converse with you and to share my music with the world. Hopefully, folk like it.
Yeah, I hope. I know I enjoyed it. I'm so sorry the thing is playing again.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so if you want to check out more songs from Deadly Force, you can click on the link that is in the description. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. And as we say every night, live, love, and laugh music. Good night, everyone.
This is Pedii Talks Music, the best radio show in the DMV. This is Pedii Talks Music, the best radio show in the DMV.